Hi, everybody. We're back. This is Tony, and I'm a diamond in the rough.
Diamond in the
I am
rough.
a diamond in the rough. Or I'm a rough diamond, however you
I
want
am
to
one
look
of a
at
kind, so
it. You are. You
Yeah.
are one of a kind.
that's me.
I am one of a kind. I'm the kind that doesn't like all the big 80s movies that everybody else likes.
It's because you're
Um,
wrong.
Speaking of that, no, not at all, really. Everybody enjoys our lost treasures. We throw out a few lost treasures at the end of almost every episode. And people like it. We like it. It's fun turning people on to movies that they might not know. So we decided a few times a year, maybe 5, we're going to bring you guys an entire show dedicated to lost treasures. This particular one, we don't have a theme. Do we have a
No,
theme? I don't have a theme. Yeah.
No theme here.
We figured we'd do 5. Is that about right?
Yeah, I got about 5.
5 for this one. And nothing genre specific. We're just going to bring you some movies
Kinda
that
jumps around.
they may not all be 5-star classics, but we like them. Some may be, but we like they're lost treasures, movies that Bill and I like that were maybe forgotten, ignored at the box office, underseen, under-reviewed, for whatever reason, and that we love and might own and treasure ourselves.
Yes.
And we want to turn you on to them. Bill, would you like to start?
Sure. I mean, I found this a little difficult. You would think this would be easy.
Oh, this is,
But
I could do our next 5 years of lost treasures.
I didn't know. I guess it's because I didn't really prepare. But I got on the internet.
Don't tell them that.
Yeah, don't. Shh. I wing this every week. But I got on, and was like, okay, well, I like this movie that some people might not have, and as you said, some of these are, these aren't like, oh my God, I've never heard that movie before. It might be, but it also could be.
I might have one of those.
Something that, as you said before, you forgot was out there.
Corvette Summer.
Corvette Summer, yes. Mark Hamill at his best.
I ate real quickly. The big burger hangout. They were all. I ate there many times.
Really?
My uncle lived 3 blocks from it.
Well, there you go.
Anyway, go ahead.
All right. Okay, so this one, me and Melissa, my wife, like to go to independent theaters sometimes because sometimes
That's where the good stuff is.
that's where the good stuff
Yeah.
is. And honestly, they're getting better, but mainstream movie theaters aren't always the best. But they
Nope.
are getting better. I will throw
They're
that
getting
in
more
there.
relaxing, if nothing else.
Yeah, they are, but people are getting less rude because it's more expensive to go watch them.
Yeah.
But this one we went and saw and really, really liked. And after seeing it, we got the DVD, but again, kind of fell off the radar. It was 2007, directed by Thomas McCarthy. The Visitor.
The Visitor.
The
Beautiful. That is a great. I think it was in my top 3 of that year.
Mhm.
It's a fantastic movie.
Yeah, it's a
but yours, so go
beautiful,
on.
beautiful film about a man. He's a teacher in Connecticut. Really has lost any joy of life whatsoever. He teaches one class at like a community college. He's unhappy.
Played by the great Richard Jenkins.
Yes. Gets a chance to go back to New York for some type of conference. Goes to his apartment to find that it has been occupied by other people, some illegal immigrants. Kind of taken back, but sees their situation and asks them to stay. And he was learning to play the piano, but the guy there is a drummer, and he learns how to play the African drum, and it's just a beautiful movie about somebody who's down on their luck, per se. Life is not treating him the way that it should, and he finds love and compassion in these people that he doesn't
just
even
wanted
know.
to throw out. Yeah.
Right. It's just a beautiful, beautiful movie.
And just a quick side note, I'm looking up something else, but I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
You remember who plays the husband? Goes. It speaks a little about the post 9/11. It speaks a lot about post 9/11 New York.
Right.
And the husband's being detained
Yeah.
for whatever reason, but his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember who played her? Because we didn't know her back then.
Is that?
It's Michonne from The Walking Dead.
Oh no, I did not know that.
I didn't either until just now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Yes.
But no, just a beautiful movie that, like I said, I remember really, really loving it. I got the DVD as soon as it came out.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But then after that, it kind of it's went away.
Yeah. It was never a. It was nominated for. Richard Jenkins was nominated for Best Actor, and I was pulling for him. I've always liked Richard Jenkins. He's always stood out. For many years, he was that guy. Hey, that's that guy from blah. But he's come into his own. He's a fantastic character actor, and I was pulling for him. He didn't win, but yeah, no. Go ahead.
But
Great.
no, beautiful story. Beautiful story, beautiful movie. If you're looking for a date night film that both you and your significant other are going to like, watch it.
And I love the side romance when he meets the older woman, the mother.
He meets the mother.
The mother, yeah. That's I've only seen it a couple times, but and it's not Hollywood-esque. It's not easy.
Right.
They don't just happen and then fly off into the sunset together.
Right.
Right. Yeah. I was pulling for him. Sean Penn beat him from Milk. That was the year where I wouldn't have been angry. I was pulling for Richard Jenkins or Mickey Rourke in his comeback.
Gotcha.
But Sean Penn won for Milk, my favorite actor, one of his best performances, so can't get too mad at that. But great choice, The Visitor.
Yeah.
Wonderful movie.
I think it should be seen by more people. It's got a lot of parts that could be thrown out there today. The relevant things that are relevant.
It's
That's
very
what I was
relevant.
trying to
Yeah, and it's what 2007.
2007.
Right? Yeah, and yeah, it had a small notice when it was out.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't fire up the box office, and like I said, it got noticed from his Oscar nod. But it's a perfect little movie. Perfect movie about human beings.
Yeah.
Trying to get by. Great choice. Yes. Great choice. I love that movie. For my 5 this time on our inaugural Lost Treasures podcast, I wanted to have some fun myself here and just go 5 decades.
Okay.
So
I did not do that.
I'll start in this. Well, do it next time. I was just playing around with it. That's a good thing with Lost Treasures.
Mm-hmm.
This week we'll be doing Lost Sci-Fi. We'll be doing Lost Horror, or this one's Hodgepodge. Yeah, that's the fun thing.
Did you just use Hodgepodge?
I sure did. I'm from the Midwest, and I used Hodgepodge, and I drink pop, you sons of bitches. All right, so my first one is from 1961.
Okay.
And it was actually a very mild hit back then. But it was... You can't find it on... Because of copyright issues, you can't find it on DVD nor Blu-ray. And any copy you find is one of those... what do you call it? Public domain copies.
Gotcha.
Where it's just a crappy transfer. So don't... Until I make the announcement that they released it, no, I want people to see it, but try to find it on like cable or Amazon or. 1961, directed by and starring, the only film he directed, the great Larry King, the great Marlon Brando, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
One-Eyed Jacks from 1961. It's a Western. It was... air quotes about Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, but they changed the story.
Okay.
The script went through many changes, and by the time it got to Brando, he was attached to it. He kind of helped the script along, and he didn't want Billy the Kid to be the bad guy, and everybody's like, Marlon? Billy the Kid was a bad guy? So he's kind of gotta be?
He was misunderstood.
So then Brando, since he owned the property, brought in his writers and people and twisted it around. They're no longer... Carl Malden played the Pat Garrett characters. Now his name is Dad Longworth. And in my opinion, it's Carl Malden's finest performance. He is great. He's evil. He's vicious. And Billy the Kid, Marlon Brando, became Rio. And a hero. A misunderstood hero. But it's the same story. Carl Malden and Brando rob banks and kill people together. And then Malden falls in love with the wonderful Katie Jurado, who you may not know by name, but if you saw her, you'd know. She's been around. She's dead now, but she's been in millions of movies. Character falls in love with her and decides to settle down. I'm not an outlaw anymore, and he becomes a sheriff of this town and learns to grow old gracefully and keeps his violence behind him. And then Brando shows up for revenge because, I forgot to mention this, when he decides to leave all his when Malden decides to leave all this behind him, he shoots Brando and doesn't kill him because he's his friend, and leaves him to be found by a posse, and Brando has to do some time, and so on and so on. So Brando comes looking for revenge, comes to his town, and there you go. But no longer the story of Billy the Kid. But it was originally directed by the great Stanley Kubrick.
Oh, wow.
And he kept saying, no, it's Billy the Kid, and that's even after the script changes. He's like, Kubrick didn't want Brando's character to be a big hero. He said, you can be a hero, but you can be a flawed hero. And Brando's like, nah, Brando had already done all his big flawed people. Now he wanted to be a true blue hero. So they fired Kubrick, a phrase that shouldn't exist.
Yeah, really.
They fired Kubrick, and Brando took over the reins. It's a Western. He took over the reins.
Oh.
Where are you, people? Where's my rim shots? Yeah.
All right.
But it's surprisingly well directed. I mean, the guy did come up doing movies by Elia Kazan, so I think he probably learned a few things.
Maybe a little.
It's big in scope. It's a really good Western. You can be a great movie and not be a good Western, or you can be a great Western but not a good movie. I say that about Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid with Newman and Redford. It's a great movie. It's not a great Western, but it's a great. But anyway, it's a good Western. It's not a great movie, or it's a great movie. It's Brando's Brando. He's great in it. Carl Malden should have had an Oscar as his finest performance. The great Ben Johnson, Slim Pickens. It's got all the great cowboy character actors are in it. And one funny thing, Brando's saddle, it's a diamond-studded saddle, and it's the same saddle that Eli Wallach sat on in as the bad guy in The Magnificent Seven. Just a little trivia. That's for you. But One-Eyed Jacks, the original cut was 5 hours. I think that's why we're having a problem getting it. Brando disowns the studio cut.
Oh, okay.
It's like 2 hours and 5 minutes, and he said they took. He said you can cut some, but my God, they cut 3 hours out of it. So, I think it's a great movie. Like I said, it was a minuscule hit, but it's long forgotten, and it's not available. If you can find it on TV or Amazon, please. Frankly, if you have to watch a crappy version, try it because it's that good. One-Eyed Jacks, 1961, my first lost treasure.
No, very, very cool. Yeah, I did not know what you're talking about, but it sounds good.
See, we can turn each other on to movies here.
Yeah, that's great.
It'll happen.
So here's a little bit different. This was directed by Ian Softly, also written by him. 1994.
Don't say it.
Kind of a young Stephen Dorff.
Oh.
No, didn't
Go
like
ahead.
it.
This is yours. Go.
No?
Go.
Backbeat. What don't you like about it?
This is not for me to say.
No, it is for you to say.
I just found it at that time, I still am, but at that time I was all Beatles all the time,
Mhm.
and I just thought it was very undercooked. It's not a bad movie. It's not a bad
Mhm.
movie. I'm not saying that. Just kind of undercooked. Um, I hate Steven Dorff. That was a big problem for me. Even though
Oh,
he
I
had
got
a
him coming up again.
even though he had a perfect Liverpudlian, is that right? Accent. Um, but no, and that bothered me.
Mhm.
Love the guy who played Lennon.
Mhm.
I just remember Steven Dorff. He kept saying, "Mr. Lennon" after everything. Um, I just thought it was okay. I guess is my thumb. Here I go again. Sideways.
To the
My
side.
thumb is sideways. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But anyway,
those who
go
don't
ahead.
know, it's about
Elaborate on that, would you?
Stuart Sutcliffe, if that's how you pronounce it. Not a lot of people realize there was a extra Beatle who, at the beginning, was their bass player, with Pete Best and Paul McCartney and George Harrison and John Lennon, and before Ringo Starr came along. And it's a movie about him and how the Beatles started getting big, and he wanted to be an artist and fell in love with a woman, and he has to make a choice. And I always thought it was just kind of a fun film. I mean, I'm very much into the Beatles as well, and it's kind of cool to see a different story about that, that it wasn't just the original guys. And I don't know, 1994, Stephen Dorff, Cheryl Lee, Ian Hart.
I forgot about her.
The
Ian Hart, yeah.
He's
the guy who played Lennon.
Paul McCartney, I mean, looked so much like Paul McCartney. It was crazy.
I agree with that.
So, but, okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's fine. Like I said, this,
I have it.
We
I own
won't
it.
always agree.
It's in my DVD collection.
I
It's a
could
movie I
stand
enjoy.
to watch it again. I saw it when it came out in 1994,
Mhm.
and I was so anti Steven Dorff that I'm wondering if that played a big part in it.
Yeah.
Lay it on me.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, yeah, I'll lay it on you. Give it another shot.
We might have a breakthrough, folks.
Maybe. I just thought it was fun, and it's a movie again. I don't think
Good
a lot
music.
of people out there know. Of course, it's good music.
And we should warn people though. Oh, cool! I'll get to see my full of Beatles music. No, you won't. You get.
Yeah.
It's when they were the Quarrymen.
Yes, this is before that.
Yeah.
This is when they were.
That's when they did all their
doing the Hamburg touring. And,
Chuck Berry and
like I said,
rock
Peter
and
Best
roll
was.
music.
It wasn't even. It was pre Ringo Starr.
Yeah.
So.
Underrated drummer. Thank you very much. Not anymore because now he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But yeah, no, it's a good choice. Yeah, it's certainly a lost treasure. It did not do well.
No, I don't think a lot
Nobody
of people knew
cared
about it.
about it.
I remember getting the screener when I worked for Video Time when I was in high school.
Yeah.
At the video store I worked in high school, we got it on a screener, and I watched it.
So you were in high school when that came out, is
Yeah.
what you're telling me.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just about to graduate from high school.
I was just about to graduate from college.
Yeah. So,
I say college. All right. That's a good one. Okay, so 1994.
well, 94.
Backdraft.
And the director's not anything to shake a
Ian
stick
Softly
in.
is not. I believe I believe he directed Hackers. Am I wrong?
He did. I think he
Oof.
did K-Pax. Was that him?
Oh my God, did he?
Yeah.
I hate that film.
Oh, I love K-Pax.
Do you?
Yeah.
You know what's wrong with K-Pax?
What?
Starman.
Starman?
Jeff Bridges gave the. Pardon us for a moment here, folks. Jeff Bridges in Starman gave the, I think, still
Mm-hmm.
ultimate iconic portrayal of an alien in a human body
Mm-hmm.
without being too showy.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Spacey in K-Pax is just, watch me try to chew up the scenery, and sitting right across the table from him is the guy who gave the iconic performance. He's chewing the
Yeah, but
banana
it's
and he's
different-
got his sunglasses on, he's got his mannerisms, and
But it's a different
hated K-Pax.
movie.
Oof.
K-Pax was more about, was this guy mentally ill, up to the end. You didn't know if he was just, schizophrenic or,
yeah.
just a mentally ill guy. It wasn't, that was the whole idea. Was,
No, I
Is
know.
this guy crazy or is he actually an alien?
Yeah.
And I loved
did.
Kevin Spacey's performance in it. I thought he
I
did
did.
a great job.
That started that stretch for me. Like after
Yeah.
American Beauty,
Mm-hmm.
I think he went through a long, maybe even up to House of Cards.
Oh,
It's just
wow.
like, holy shit, I'm tired of seeing you, and you're not very good. Yeah, but don't get me wrong. He's one of our finest actors.
Oh,
I
yeah,
love
definitely.
him. Yeah. I'm sure many people said that about Brando,
Mhm.
circa 65 to the end of his life. Yeah. All right, there we go. Backbeat and The Visitor for you so far.
Yeah.
So I've got One-Eyed Jacks in 1961. Let's move to the 70s.
All right,
I
go
bet
on.
you've never heard of this one.
Probably not.
Emperor of the North,
Nope.
sometimes titled Emperor of the North Pole. Directed by Robert Aldrich, or Aldrich, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. His most famous movie was probably the Burt Reynolds football movie, The Longest Yard.
Okay.
The original, people,
Not the-
1974.
What was the remake? Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Don't get me. I've
Okay.
never seen it. I love The
Yeah.
Longest Yard. I don't need to see it. Yeah. But Emperor of the North, it was originally titled Emperor of the North Pole, but I think it's Emperor of the North, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it both ways. So when you run out to get it, just Emperor of the North, 1973. It's a very simple story.
Mhm.
It's set during the Depression, and it's about a bunch of hobos riding trains, trying to live their lives. Lee Marvin and Keith Carradine in his film debut. They're bums, hobos is what you call them, and a bunch of other familiar faces from 70s character actor cinema. And they drink, they talk, they ride the rails, eat, panhandle. Ernest Borgnine, the great Ernest Borgnine, is the psycho train yard boss.
Gotcha.
See, I love westerns. I can't even get it straight. Everybody's a trail boss. Borgnine's the train yard boss, and his name's Shack. And by the way, I love the character names. Lee Marvin's name is A Number 1,
Mm-hmm.
and Carradine's name is Cigarette. And Borgnine is Shack, Shack, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
For all you basketball fans, go, all right. No. And Borgnine is he makes the statement at the beginning to his fellow workers. Keep an eye out for these hobos. He says, nobody rides for free on my line. And he kills, he beats to death people. And Lee Marvin is sick of seeing all his hobo buddies getting beat near to death or to death. So he says, I'm going to ride his train. I'm going to ride it all the way. There's this patch of mountains.
Mm-hmm.
It's one long stretch. He's like, I'm going to ride it all the way, and he's not going to do anything about it. And there's some build up to that. There's some fights with other things. And Borgnine, spoiler alert, 1973. Keith Carradine is very dear to Lee Marvin. He's the son he never had. And Borgnine beats Keith Carradine to death. And so Lee Marvin, that's it. I'm going to ride this all the way, and I'm going to kill Borgnine. And they do, and it's a great adventure, action. And when I say action, I don't mean, you know what I mean. We're talking 1973, not flashy, but it's just a brutal, tough man adventure. Lee Marvin and Ernest Borgnine going head to head. Need I say more? They fight under a train, in a train, on top of a train. It's brutal, bloody. Great performance by Marvin and Borgnine, and it's just a lot of fun. Like I said, there's nothing deep in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a fun movie. Emperor of the North, 1973.
Excellent.
There we are.
Alrighty. Well, I'm kind of jumping around the 90s here.
That's all right.
The next one.
I love the 90s.
90s. Directed by George Armitage.
In the 90s?
97.
Can I guess?
Go for it.
Can I guess? I'm going back to my high school reunion in Grosse Pointe, Michigan. That it? That it?
You can never go back.
Yeah.
But I guess you can shop there.
Yay. That's a good one.
Yes, Grosse Pointe Blake.
Yeah.
John
shows.
Cusack, Minnie Driver, Dan Aykroyd. Just a great...
Jeremy Piven before we knew him.
10 years.
Did you get a call?
Just a fun movie. The
Fun
music
movie.
track is great. It's 80s stuff. He's
The
going back
music
to his high
track
school.
is my high school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
going back to his high school reunion. John Cusack is a hitman, and he decides to go back for his high school reunion. And what can you say? A hitman going back, meeting his high school sweetheart.
Who he stood up, I think,
Who
right?
he stood up
I haven't
because
seen
he
it in years.
went off to join the army or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's a hitman, and people keep asking him, so what do you do now? And, I kill people. And people,
They laugh it
that's
off,
funny.
right.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious. But no, it's just a fun movie just to sit down
It
and
is.
watch and laugh and just enjoy 2 hours of your time.
It is. It's fun, and it's nostalgic for people like me in my area. And you're not that much younger than me.
No,
God damn
not
it.
at all.
But with the music
Mhm.
and great 80s soundtrack. And the Minnie Driver stuff
Mhm.
back when she was relevant.
When she was relevant.
She was really good.
Mhm.
And it was all fun. And next to Say Anything, I'd say that those two are Cusack's best roles.
Yeah. No. I think
And
he did
Cusack,
beautiful.
I think he co-wrote it, right? Or else helped it along or something. I know he was a producer, yeah.
It was Tom Jen.
Okay.
Can't pronounce it.
That
Tom
guy.
something.
That guy. Tommy.
Who wrote the screenplay for it?
Yeah.
Jan Kiewicz.
I don't know. Don't worry about it.
Jankiewiczz. Try to
Oh,
pronounce that one.
Jankowitz?
That's
Because there's
good.
a Tom Mankiewicz.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Tom Jankowitz. Yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
good.
okay. All right. There's the Mankiewicz, so I just assume it's Jankowitz.
Yeah.
Sounds
So-
like we're reading from Dr. Seuss. No, that's a good one. And again, that one, our Lost Treasures aren't always big bombs. That made a
No.
little bit of money and found its home on video. But
Mhm.
after a few years,
Yeah, again, kind
it
of went
just
away.
kind of vanished.
but
Yeah.
Still, fun,
Never
fun
comes
movie.
around on the channels or
Yeah.
anything. Yeah, it's a fun, and exactly what you said. It is a load of fun. From the
Mhm.
minute it starts, him and Dan Aykroyd shooting at each other, and Dan Aykroyd, while he's trying to kill him, still trying to recruit him.
Yep,
It's
exactly.
like, come on. Yeah, that's good stuff. I like that movie a lot. That's a lot of fun. Good choice. I like all your choices.
Except for Backbeat.
Oh, yeah, except for Backbeat. I still had The Visitor right here. Yang, yang, yang. All right, a good choice. 1997, right?
97.
Gross Point Blank. Check it out. Some of you may have seen it,
Yeah, that's a
Um,
possibility.
but definitely check it out.
definitely worth
Oh,
watching
I
again.
also want to add High Fidelity to the list of great John Cusack
movies.
Yeah.
Jack Black.
Yeah, jeez. I think that's when the world discovered Jack Black was more than Jack
Mhm.
Blackie.
Right.
All right, where was I? In the 70s? So I have to
You
move to
are.
the 80s now.
80s.
I kind of like doing it this way.
That's not bad.
My 80s Lost Treasure choice should have been a bigger hit than it was. I was shocked to find out that it was a big flop.
Mm-hmm.
Critics, for the most part, liked it, but financially, man, people stayed away in droves. Directed by the great Ridley Scott.
Ooh.
1987, Someone to Watch Over Me. You ever seen it? All right, good.
You're just throwing all the ones I've
come on.
never seen.
I dig, baby. Someone to Watch Over Me, 1987, starring Tom Berenger and Lorraine Bracco and Mimi Rogers. the first ex-Mrs. Tom Cruise, who was the first one to leave him because of the Scientology bullshit, and it still continues. Tom Berenger is in one of his best, like, everybody says, oh, Platoon. Yeah, that too, but he's great in this. He's a New York cop with a really good New York accent, and he's married to Lorraine Bracco, who was just amazingly sexy in this movie, and I thought she should have had a supporting actress nomination. And, working class cop, and Mimi Rogers is a socialite who is at a big socialite rich New York party, witnesses a murder of the host of the party. The killer sees him, and it's one of those moments where he has to run. He can't go get her. So she goes to the police, explains everything. So they she lives in this big penthouse apartment in this rich building. So they have police around her 24/7. And guess what happens? Tom Berenger and her kind of start falling in love. He's just, and it's not a cheesy Hollywood way of doing it. she's kind of slumming. You know, she's but not slumming, but she's around all the rich socialite phonies, and she sees something real in this guy. And he has a son with his wife, and he's sick of being, he's always trying to pick up extra hours. He's sick of being a cop and not being paid enough and not being able to make ends meet. And so there's lots of stress at home, stress on his marriage. So, that leads him to her. And Mimi Rogers was very sexy in her day, and she might still be. I haven't seen her forever, but... so they have an affair. And, of course, the killer, it affects when the killer shows up, and Lorraine Bracco finds out about it. And I won't tell you anymore because it's not what it sounds like. It sounds like it might be. It sounds like I described a Lifetime TV film. But it's not. It's Ridley Scott. It's beautifully shot. Something I don't need to say. I should just say it's Ridley Scott.
Right.
But it's great, beautifully shot, great acting, really good story. Sting sings "Someone to Watch Over Me" over the opening credits. Okay. Very nice. Yeah, it's just a great film. I when I saw it, I said, "Oh, this movie's going to be huge," and like 3 weeks later, it was gone.
Wow.
And I don't understand why it was never. I have it on DVD. It's a good movie. I think it's one of Ridley. I think it's one of Ridley Scott's. Certainly in his top 10. Someone to Watch Over Me, 1987.
Very cool. Yeah. 3 for 3. Yeah, I'm getting all sorts of stuff here. I'm going to bring my game on.
Yeah, right.
What's up?
I can send you home with all these movies right now. Well, not One-Eyed Jacks, but...
Yeah. Like I said, I don't prepare. Someone did.
I was just having fun. Dude, we could do 10 shows right now. I need no prep for Lost Treasures. I have a million. Because I'm always saying, dude, did you ever see that movie? No, I never heard of it. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, Lost Treasures, I need no prep. I just wanted to have fun and break them down by decade.
No, I think that's a good idea. I have to do that next time. Maybe I'll find a little bit more things out there that's a little bit more obscure.
Visible. Hey, Backbeat is pretty obscure.
A little bit more obscure. Yeah, but now I gotta try. Okay, Stump Anthony time.
Top Emperor of the North. Wow. God damn it! You didn't know that existed.
I didn't know that was a movie. What are you talking about? All right. So I know you don't like Stephen Dorff, but while I was going through looking for movies that might not be kind of well known and things that I really enjoyed,
I'm scared.
1992.
Okay,
John
I don't think that's
Avildsen. A very, very young Stephen Dorff. Even a young Morgan Freeman. Oh, he's clapping. Is this a Stephen Dorff film that you might...
And a great Hans Zimmer score.
And a great movie.
You want to tell them the title?
The Power of One.
I love this movie. we struck gold. I love this movie. Go on though. It's yours.
So it has to do with apartheid. Stephen Dorff, only English kid living in kind of a going to school in a Africana school. Right before World War II kind of kicks off in Africa. Ends up he's an orphan, and he goes to live with, I think, his grandfather's
it's been so long.
Friend or something like that.
Is it Armin Mueller-Stahl? Is that who plays? I don't know. Anyway, go on.
Yes, it is,
okay.
Actually.
I thought I remembered that, yeah.
Yes.
Wow,
and this guy doesn't register or something, gets himself arrested, so then Stephen Dorff's character, PK, is is basically, again, just out on his own, but he goes to visit him at a prison, befriends Morgan Freeman, learns the box.
He calls him something, or does he just call him PK?
I think he calls him PK. Okay. Learns the box, becomes very, very good at it, kind of learns the kind of stories of the Africans and stuff, and becomes kind of a boxing legend, this young kid. And then World War II kind of ends, and he ends up going, I think, back to England and going to a boarding school. Of course, from there, falls in love with a girl whose father is, racist and stuff, but still
That's the first time I ever heard the word kafir.
Yeah.
And that's... I don't say the N word because it's stupid. That's nigger in Afrikaans.
Right.
It's like, it's kafir. Yeah.
Right.
I'd never heard it up until I had to ask my dad. I'm like, what is that?
But it's a great movie about tolerance and learning tolerance and a little bit of, apartheid, there, but really kind of a powerful, altogether, just kind of, movie to make you go, wow, people suck, but, this is cool.
I agree. That's a great movie. And you even get your Rocky ending.
Yeah.
Because it's directed by the guy who directed Rocky. And The Karate Kid, by the way, John Avildsen. Yeah, no, great. Another great choice. I love that movie. I didn't think anybody knew about that movie.
Oh, yeah. I used to watch it all the time in high school. I've been trying to find it. I want to get a copy of it.
That's probably really hard to find, yeah. No, that's a really good movie. What year was that?
92.
92. I like the power. Yeah, I highly recommend everybody seek out Power of One. That is a good movie. Good movie. Massive lost treasure there. You said next time you need to find something. You found something. Nobody knows about that movie. Because I didn't even know. I mean, it didn't get a release in this country.
No.
It went straight to video. And when it came, I said, the hell is this? Morgan Freeman and directed by John Avildsen? What the hell? And I watched it and I'm like, what the hell? Why didn't you guys put this out? I don't know why it didn't get a release in this country.
No,
it's
very good. Powerful movie.
Yeah, it is. And again, I think that's also my introduction to Hans Zimmer. Maybe. I don't know. I think he was around before that. But great score with the African. Oh, my God. Good choice. Yay. Yay, that one. You were scared on that one, I thought.
I was too.
Scared
I was
you were
kind of like Steven Dorff. Oh, my God.
I was scared you're going to... He did a shit movie, Steven Dorff. I don't even remember the name of it. FTW. Around 95, 4. You remember that? Exactly.
No.
One of Reese Witherspoon's first films.
Yeah.
And she said that she denounces that film. She said because Steven Dorff and the director just got high and went into the editing room and fucked it all up. But
Reese Witherspoon needs to disown that movie with Kiefer Sutherland about Little Red Riding Hood.
I love that movie.
What?
Freeway.
That was
I
so
own
bad.
It. I love it.
So bad.
It's purposely schlocky.
So bad.
If I didn't have these already written down, I would pull that out from my 90s.
Oh, God.
If we have time at the end of this goddamn podcast, I'm throwing another one in. That's coming, young man. All right, 90s. Really? I love that movie.
Couldn't stand it. I thought it was poorly acted.
I never thought I'd say this, but I found a lost treasure that it got great reviews, but no box office. I mean, zero box office. Starring Nicolas Cage, Patricia Arquette, John Goodman, Ving Rhames, Tom Sizemore, and written by Paul Schrader, who wrote Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, Last Temptation of Christ. Directed by, I don't need to give his credits, Martin Scorsese.
Isn't that the fish
Nobody.
in Shark Tale?
Yeah, right. You're below whale poo. Nobody saw this film. I can't believe it. Bringing Out the Dead.
Bringing Out the Dead.
Nicolas Cage is an ambulance driver. Who, an EMT.
I want to say I saw this, but I don't remember anything about it.
You might have. I can lay this on you too. He's an EMT who, I guess, a few months ago lost a patient. And his Catholic guilt is getting to him. Anything written by Paul Schrader, your Catholic guilt's going to get to you. But he's an EMT who lost a patient, a girl, and couldn't save her. And so he spends his nights pill popping and taking extra shifts and just constantly, he's out there. I'm going to save them all. I'm going to save the world entire. It's a deep, deep movie. And at the same time, it is a wild ride. I mean, we already know that Scorsese has his camera zips and zaps and slow motions, but he's to the nth degree on this thing. It is a wild ride, and each night he's paired with a different partner in the ambulance. For instance, during the Ving Rhames stuff, the music and the look is different. During the Ving Rhames stuff, they're playing a lot of Motown because that's what Ving Rhames is cranking in the car. During the Tom Sizemore stuff, that's when we thought, oh, he plays a cool drug addict. He's good at it. Before we knew, oh, wait, he's a drug addict.
Does that well.
They played a Clash and a lot of 70s punk rock.
Mhm.
And during the John Goodman stuff, they play a lot of Van Morrison, some bluesy stuff, some Who. Um, he meets Patricia Arquette and falls in love with her. She's got problems. He's got problems. There's a lot of religious undertones maybe. She's his saving grace. She's his Mary Magdalene, but in a flip way. At some point, he becomes the Mary Magdalene to her savior. It's deep. It's a deep film, and a lot of fun, and amazing. Nick Cage, one of his best performances. Remember he used to act. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Remember those days? All those days ago.
Before Ghost Rider.
I think before Minnie. I think it's one of Scorsese's best films. It was ignored at the box office. It was ignored at Oscar time. It's just a forgotten movie. And usually when I bring it up and say, yeah, it's Scorsese. Scorsese did that? Why don't I know about it? I don't know. There was no promotion.
Yeah.
The studio just threw it out. They figured, Scorsese, Nick Cage, everybody will go. But it's a dark. Think of Taxi Driver. Only he's trying to save everybody instead of kill everybody. It's that kind of thing.
I don't know. It sounds so familiar.
Wonderful.
I swear that I saw it.
And it's just.
How many times has Nicolas Cage played an ambulance driver? Yeah.
Uno.
So I know I've seen it.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't remember anything about it.
Great film. Bringing Out the Dead.
I'll have to see that again because I remember watching it, but I don't remember anything about it.
Yeah. So I beg all of you. I don't have to tout that Scorsese is one of the best directors, if not the best working today. Just get it, folks. Bringing Out the Dead. Don't be scared of Nicolas Cage. He once was one of our finest actors. It is a fantastic movie with a great soundtrack. Some of the best music you'll ever hear thrown together in one movie. It's just amazingly directed, written, acted. Bringing Out the Dead, 1999.
Excellent. That sounds good.
Oh, there's one more. I'm like, drops the mic and walks away. Remembers he has one more movie.
Yeah, we're doing 5. All right. So again, in my searching for something after The Power of One, this movie, 1990, Michael Caton Jones.
Michael Canton Jones?
Canton Jones.
I think I know what it is.
Canton
oh, wait,
Jones?
90?
Canton Jones?
Canton? I'm not sure.
I don't think there's an N in there.
There's not?
I don't think
I
so.
don't know.
But this movie, everybody, I think if they listened to the Oscar Academy Award podcast, I despised Fury. Hated that movie. It was terrible.
I don't despise it. I don't hate it, but I don't like it at all.
This movie, I think, does it right what Fury did wrong. If you're gonna have,
it does.
If you're gonna have,
I'm guessing, folks,
a lot of people in a confined space, and have you actually have feelings and care about the characters. There's like 8 or 9 of them.
Yeah, at least, right?
This is the movie, and this was Memphis Belle.
Yay! 1990, yeah.
Of course, based on the true story of World War II. It was World War II, right?
Yeah.
B-17 bomber. One of the only ones that actually did a full tour of duty of 25 missions, come back unscathed, and crew still alive.
I have not seen that probably since 92.
Great film. Eric Stoltz, Matthew Modine. Tate Donovan.
That's right. Forgot about it. No offense, Tate.
Many others, but
yeah.
No, it's just
John Lithgow.
David
David Strathern, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in it. But like I said, I think that is where they got that formula correct. Memphis Belle, where
it walks that fine line of waving your American flag when Johnny comes marching home and showing the reality at the same time.
Right. I mean, you want at the end of that movie them all to land that B-17 bomber. You want them to make it home.
Yeah.
You're that invested where, honestly, Fury, I really didn't give a shit.
Oh, who cared? I was glad when they all bit it. Because they could have ran to the woods. Sorry, folks. We hate Fury. I think I do hate Fury the more I think of it. Yeah. No, that's another great choice and a true lost treasure because I don't think that did well either.
Yeah.
And nobody talks about it anymore.
Mm-mm.
And it's a great American war film directed by a Brit. Because they can step outside the American exceptionalism, which gets us in so much trouble. And yeah, I like it a lot. I confess I could stand to see it again.
Yeah, I'll lay that on you. I got it on DVD.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
We'll do a little trade when you leave.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. I think it was 1990, right? So it probably came on HBO in late 91, early 92. Probably the last time I saw it when it came on. Yeah. I was in college. Oh, man. What a great...
huge casts, but again, they try to... Each individual is different, but you're invested in their characters.
You are invested, and that's a great thing, or important thing about war films. Fury, since we brought it up. I don't care about any of these guys. They're all cliches. And that's the good thing about films like Private Ryan, Thin Red Line, Longest Day, going way back. Yeah, you care about the characters.
And it's one of those things. It's like, spoiler alert, that towards the end of the movie they get sent back over to drop bombs in a very, hostile environment. And, they've already did 24 missions. They're on their 25th. And, you feel bad for those characters as well. Because you're like, oh my lord, they're about to go into a situation where they probably will not come back. How much luck do these people have?
Yeah, exactly.
And you're there along the ride going, oh my lord, are they going to get back? They got to get back.
I agree. And it's one of those ones where it's not cliched, when the moments like that happen. Some more of the crew, by the way. Billy Zane, who turned into Billy a great Z actor. Sean Astin.
Yep.
Yeah. Harry Connick Jr.
Yeah.
Forgot about old Harry. And Courtney Gaines, who we might not know him by name, but we know him by his, sorry, Courtney, gruesome-looking face. He was Malachi, the redhead Malachi.
Oh, yes, Malachi.
Yeah. And yes, David Strathairn and John Lithgow.
He was my favorite character in Children of the Corn, actually.
Really? Yeah. Well, something had to work. I didn't like that film, but no, what a great movie. Good choice. And it's another true lost one because it's forgotten.
And it's a war movie done right.
It is a war movie done right, yeah. And the war scenes are really done well, from what I recall. I remember thinking they were really cool.
I think there's even a brief moment when the Tuskegee Airmen come in.
Yeah,
and,
that's right.
The Red Tails, and actually, you get a little bit of that in there as well.
There's another war film that failed. Did you see Red Tails?
Yeah.
Lucas, please.
Was looking because I actually met some of the Tuskegee Airmen.
Oh wow!
And shots. I have pictures of some of them, and so no, I was very big on the Tuskegee Airmen. I really liked the Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, the HBO
movie.
film. Yeah, that was good. That was good.
And I was
the mid '90s.
High hopes for Red Tail, and
no.
It
everything we just said that was right about Memphis Belle.
Yeah.
It sidestepped cliches and the cliches that were there. Because when you do a World War II movie, you can't help but have cliches. But you can use them realistically or not. And Red Tails does it the wrong way.
Yeah.
And it was... anyway.
I had high hopes, but oh well.
I had very high hopes, but I was still scared.
Especially for a movie he supposedly had been working on for...
Yeah, he
as
said...
long as he said.
Yeah. And he even made George Lucas, by the way, produced Red Tails. And he even said when it came out, he was on, I want to say he was on The Daily Show talking about it, and he said that he had been working on it. He wanted to do it back in the 70s, but the studios didn't care about, he said, I guess they don't care about the black history. And he said, I guess if this doesn't work at the box office, then nobody cares about black history. Well, it was a box office hit, but it wasn't a good movie.
No,
so I saw it at the theater and everybody cheered at the end. And I'm like, what are you guys clapping for?
Yeah, I went to the theater the first day because I was just like, oh my God, I gotta go see this.
Did they clap where you saw it?
I don't remember.
Everybody clapped.
But I just
what
remember
are you people
kind of
clapping
going,
for? Yeah.
I own it. I mean, I bought it.
It's not awful.
But
there's a lot of good people in it, a lot of good performances. But it's not.
I can't say I've seen it since
the guy who played, am I right? David Selma, Martin Luther
Yeah.
King. He's
Oh.
in it, right? I'm right.
He probably is.
He's in there.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. But no, Memphis Belle gets it right. Memphis
Yes.
Belle is a great. It was probably, I know it was on my best of the year of 1990. It's a fantastic film. Good, another great choice for a lost treasure.
Okay, so hit me with the last one I probably haven't seen. Let's go.
I'm happy that you've seen none of these on my list.
Well, I think I've seen Bring Out the Dead, but I don't remember anything about it. But I'm gonna count it as since I don't remember it, I probably didn't see it.
I can almost Red Tails. He was in Red Tails.
Okay, good.
I can almost assure you that you haven't seen this, only because I didn't know it existed until it hit DVD.
Okay.
I rented it. I loved it so much that I bought it. 2005. It's called Edmund, starring William H. Macy, Joe Mantegna, and Julia Stiles. Do you know it?
Is this?
I'm happy if you do.
Explain it.
He's a unhappy husband, and he goes to a fortune teller who says, and I can always forget the quote, "You're not where you belong." So that sends him on this mental philosophical quest. He goes to strip clubs. He's involved in a robbery, or he's around when one happens, and and he meets a woman played by Julia Stiles, and he thinks by getting close to her, that's where he's meant to be, and she's not into him, and things take a dark turn from there.
I might have thought this was something
Is that not
else.
what you were thinking of?
No, but the name, I think it was on a list because I had a big period of time where I was really into William H. Macy, and I think that was on the list of something that I wanted to see.
It was directed by Stuart Gordon,
who
directed the Reanimator films. And it was written by the great playwright / screenwriter David Mamet, of all people.
Wow.
And it was based on a play. And they just got together and did this movie. And I don't think they meant to have a wide release with it. And when you see it, you'll see, they probably didn't think that was going to go out there. It would have been shunned had it had a wide release. But it's a brilliant film. It's dark. It's one of my favorite... Sorry, everyone. It's one of my favorite William H. Macy performances. It's really multi-layered. It's really good, and it has a darkly comedic last shot that I won't spoil for anyone. And you're just like, whoa, where did that come from? I didn't see that coming. But it's played for dark comedy. But Julia Stiles is really good in this movie. She's really good. She's kind of a lost soul as well. But he thinks that she's his savior, and that's what it's meant to be. And he leaves his wife and blah blah blah, and she's like, "Whoa, hey fella, we met in a coffee shop or a diner or whatever it was." I haven't seen it in a while, but it's a great film. I will warn all of you, it's not a romance. It's dark. It's written by David Mamet. That's all I need to say. It's dark and it's harsh. And darkly comic at times, and it's great. Directed by Stuart Gordon, who usually does horror films, and it's not. He grew up in Chicago with David Mamet, and they were friends. And he used to direct David Mamet's plays in college. And Mamet went on to do serious stuff, and Gordon went on to do horror stuff. But they got together, and I wish they'd do it more because Edmund is a great film. 2001.
All right, Edmund. I'll have to check that out because really like William H. Macy. So.
Yeah, it's a great. I can lay, with the exception of One-Eyed Jacks that isn't available. I can lay them all on you. You can watch them all. And just very quickly, I'd like to add a lost treasure, and I won't break it down. We'll just talk about it very quickly because Bill apparently hates it. Freeway from 1996.
Freeway. Terrible acting.
It is Little Red Riding Hood. It's in White Trash Trailer Park. Reese Witherspoon is basically a Little Red Riding Hood. She's a white trash chick who gets in all kinds of trouble, goes to juvie, gets out. She's just like low trash. And Kiefer Sutherland is a serial killer, i.e. the big bad wolf, driving around picking up white trash hookers and killing them.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually ends up at her grandmother's trailer at the end.
Yeah.
Everything. Here's the thing. Everything Bill said is probably right, but it is purposely that way. I mean, it's overacted, and Kiefer Sutherland. I don't know what plane he's on there, but he's out there in that one.
Yes.
Reese Witherspoon overacts the trashiness, overdoes everything. The director overdoes. Look, like I said, it ends up at your grandmother's trailer. Yes, we get it. They're all trailer trash.
With Kiefer Sutherland in the bed.
With Kiefer Sutherland in the bed, dressed as grandmother.
With the blanket up
and
over his face.
Fucking works every minute of that movie. I remember I rented that with my dad, and my dad agrees with me, by the way. We rented that, and we were like, we want to watch something. We can't figure out anything. Let's just get this crappy little nothing. Like, this movie's great, and it really is. And I think the director meant it to be schlocky and cheesy and over the top, and it is. Freeway, 1996. Bill does not recommend it whatsoever. He wants you to run from it. I say go to it. Make your own choice. I give it like 3.5 stars.
Oh my God!
I'm serious.
No.
I have always been a champion of that movie. I like Freeway.
No.
Freeway.
3.5 stars.
I'm serious. For what it set out to do, yeah.
Okay, well, if it set out to be terrible, that's what it was.
It's a white trash Little Red Riding Hood, folks, starring Kiefer Sutherland as the wolf. Yeah, and just take it from there. Make of it what you will. I made lemonade out of those lemons. Bill made like this, that muck at the bottom of a coffee cup that's been sitting for a week and nobody's washed it. That's what Bill made out of it. Mm-hmm. But anyway, well, there's our list, our first Lost Treasures show. It was a good list. Both of our, I think we only disagreed on like one. Mine wasn't even on my list. I just threw it on there, Freeway. But now I don't have to do it again next time. Bill, your list is phenomenal.
Well, thank you.
Memphis Belle, holy shit. I had forgot. I mean, I know it's out there, but
I thought they were going to be too mainstream when I started coming up. I was like,
See, that's the thing. I mean, Memphis Belle didn't do well, but it was a big Warner Brothers movie. The Visitor didn't do well. I think that was Warner Brothers, but it was an indie. Mm-hmm. But, our Lost Treasures are small films, big films that were ignored, forgotten. Like I said, One-Eyed Jacks was a hit back in the day, but it's long forgotten, and it's unavailable. It's hard to find. If you can find it, please post on the page where you found it. I want to see. The guy who gave you that lost treasure would like to see that lost treasure once again. Because when I was growing up, and TV channels used to actually show old movies, I saw it once a year maybe. So it was always around. I could see it, and great show. I had a blast with this one.
All right.
I'm looking forward to our next one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring up the game a little bit.
Hey, dude, you're fine. You're fine. I just had fun with the decades, and that'll be a cool way to do it.
No, that was actually a really good way to do it.
It's hard though, real quick. It's hard. I don't know. One-Eyed Jacks just came to me. Mm-hmm. I said, yeah, I want that to be one, because when I think of the '60s, mind you, I was born in '69. But I know film, but I don't know much about what was a big hit. What was I gotta look it up or call my dad. Did this make money? And so that's harder research for me. 1970 and backwards, it's tough to figure out. But and just by the way, we're gonna give you a bunch of these Lost Treasure shows throughout the year, and I already have the next one ready.
Yeah. I'll be having to work on that one a little bit. So a couple have come to mind while I've been sitting here.
I was going to say one. I had 4 ready for the next one. I said, I need to get one more good one. I won't tell you why until the next show, but one came to mind while I'm like, I'm going to do that one.
Yeah.
And then we had a special write-in vote for Freeway.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that was on Tony's side, not Bill's side. Yeah, that's
mine.
The other show, the bad movie show. And real quick, we were talking about Fury and how we hate it.
Yes.
And it came out earlier this year, right? Or was that last year?
Last year, right?
Oh yeah, I don't know. It's floating
It
around.
was up for the Academy Award this year, so it came out last year.
Yeah, yeah. So right. And I haven't made out my best and worst list of last year.
Mm-hmm.
And on the show, we'll start doing that next year.
Okay.
Doing our best and worst of what we've seen of the year. But I haven't done my best and worst list of last year because I still haven't seen Selma or Still Alice.
Yeah, I haven't
So
seen
I
Still
haven't
Alice yet. I didn't see that.
But I've seen all the other major important ones. And I think Fury is the worst movie of 2014. I really do. I'd have to look at my list again, but I think... And again, when I make out my worst lists, I'm not... It's easy. I could just pull whatever Adam Sandler did or whatever David Spade or Rob Schneider did.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's... By the way, The Cobbler, the really apparently really bad new Adam Sandler movie, is directed and written by the guy who did The Visitor, which makes me want to see it, but I don't want to see it because everybody says it's awful. And it sounds...
It was a typical Adam Sandler.
Oh, you saw it?
I saw it.
So he was slumming, the director of The Visitor.
A little bit. I mean, it's not terrible. It's not like I, turned it off halfway.
Yeah.
But
I put it on my instant queue. It's on instant.
It was straight to video Adam Sandler movie. It's what you're going to expect.
That's pretty. It has to be bad if a Sandler movie goes straight to video.
Yeah.
Because those things make money no matter how bad they are.
I didn't turn it off. I still watched it to its finish.
I'll check it out.
But
it'll probably be on my queue forever before I get to it.
It's very cliche-ish.
I saw the preview. I was like, that's from the director of The fucking Visitor?
Yeah.
And another lost treasure, I guess, real quick. The guy's first film was The Station Agent, which is a very good movie with Peter Dinklage. And yeah, it's a good movie.
So don't expect much from it.
No, I don't expect anything. I was shocked when I found out who directed it. That's the only reason I put it on my queue. I said, all right, well, he's done 2 good ones. Let me see what happened here. But no, what I was going to say is it's easy to pull, Michael Bay. There's his reference for this podcast. It's easy to pull those and make a...
Right.
That my worst of the year, I look at movies that should have been, could have been something with good people involved and good stories.
And like we said, The Fury.
The Fury is a good movie. Fury is a bad movie.
The problem I had was that it was well made and well acted. It was
I agree.
Everything else about it was shit.
The script was atrocious.
And so, I understand exactly what you're saying. It's
it's
easy to kind of grab, let's grab that poopy movie that, definitely came straight to video. That nobody, of course it's going to be bad.
Larry the Cable Guy have a movie. I'll throw that on my worst of the year.
That would be easy to grab.
Yes, it would.
But I won't even touch it. But
neither.
But I see what you're saying. It's very easy to go for those movies.
So my worst of the year lists are stuff like Fury. I don't have anything else in mind right now. But people say, "Oh, why is that on there when all these others are out there?" Well, that's my reasoning. Right. If you're gonna make a worst of the year list, don't go for the easy.
Exactly.
But anyway, off the subject there, folks. But we hope you enjoyed our first Lost Treasures show, and there'll be many more to come.
Yeah.
My next one's in my head as we speak.
Yeah, I'm playing with it.
All right. Hey, well, thank God it's radio.
All right.
All right. Goodbye, ideas. There's our funny quip for the end of this one. All right, we're out of here.
Bye.
The FCC's knocking at our door. We're going.
See ya.
See ya.